We're no strangers to non-traditional, sort of like quote unquote non-traditional engineering backgrounds here. Jerry Lee, founder of VLC, studied geology. I have a background in kinesiology, pre-physical therapy. How does a former meteorology student and hardware CEO become VP of engineering at one of the biggest and most popular metaverse platforms in the world?
That's a good question, and it's a question I ask myself every day because I'm not entirely sure myself. If you rewind the clock to like 2010 or 2009, I was studying meteorology at the University of Wisconsin. Thought I was going to be a research meteorologist. Contrary to popular belief, like from my friends from high school and stuff, I was not trying to be like a weatherman on TV. I was trying to be like something even more depressing, a government scientist. But there was actually a business plan competition at the time that was only open to students at the University of Wisconsin, that was giving away from my perspective at the time, an astronomical amount of money, $50,000, for ideas that would address climate change. And a couple of my co-grad students and I said, "Hey, we should give this." Writing a 20-page paper does not sound hard, given what we do in our research careers. Like, let's go see if we can compete in this competition. And we wrote a business plan for an app that would help users find the most environmentally friendly food products at their grocery store, which was like sort of at least somewhat tangentially related to our research, not really like not in the sweet spot, but we at least felt like we knew what we were talking about. We won the second prize, which was $15,000, and started our company. And within 6 months, I was like, forget grad school. This is way more fun and way more exciting and way more risky. And I don't know, it holds my attention better than like writing another paper and going to another conference. That company was Snowshoe, was the thing that I spent the next 7 years doing. It went through a bunch of permutations. We ended up having a big problem authenticating transactions, which was a big part of our business model. And we invented a piece of hardware that helped us do that, something called the Snowshoe Stamp. Realized that hardware was way more exciting and innovative than anything we were trying to do on the app side. So we pivoted the company to pursue that full time, raised a bunch of money, went through the Techstars Accelerator, raised a bunch more money, spent all the money, went off to China to figure out how to manufacture our hardware, like in sort of a scalable manufacturing process. And the primary use case that we eventually landed on for the technology was making toys that would unlock characters in video games. And so that sort of moved me into the at least somewhat the realm that Roblox operates in, which is 3D immersive co-experience, video gaming, etc. Through Snowshoe, I met Dave. Dave convinced me to come and work at Roblox back in 2016. And I've been here ever since. But the day I got the job offer from Roblox, it was as an engineering director, and I literally didn't know what an engineering director was. I didn't realize that it like sat in the hierarchy between like manager and VP. Like, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like, I don't know, lead a team of engineers. Okay. I hope they know I'm not an engineer, because if they don't, they're gonna have a rude surprise when I arrive on day one.
It is so wild to think the things that you do when you're young strangely prepare you for what you get involved in right now, like just in thinking about your story, like that's such an incredible turn from writing a report, designing a business plan for a climate change company to all of a sudden that pivots you into this space. Do you ever look back and just go, that I can't believe that happened?
Yeah, definitely. There was not much in the way of like career strategy. I think of it much more as like, as new opportunities presented themselves, trying to sort of like run some sort of utility maximization function on like, well, if I choose A, I have to choose between A or B today. Let's try to figure out which one is best, as opposed to some higher level strategy that maintained over a long period of time.
Do you still sort of run through like maybe a different like permutation of that maximization function? Like, and what does it look like?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, amazingly, given what Roblox has done over the last 6 years, like I guess for the first time in my career, I actually have the resources to sort of decide what I want to do. And so there's, can stay at Roblox and keep running with this amazing company on this amazing trajectory, or I could go do another startup, or, I've always sort of thought like, oh yeah, I'm like a startup guy. Like I'll go do another one at some point. But like, so the current, sort of utility function I get to maximize against is like, what will I learn and what will I get to do if I were to go do my own thing versus what do I get to learn and what do I get to see staying at Roblox. And
Mhm.
well, my basic premise is like in your career, you maybe get to see this like 100 to 2,000 person company growth curve, once, right? And I've had the extreme privilege of getting to do that at Roblox over the last 6 years. Um, I'm very convinced that Roblox is going to stay on that growth curve and go from like whatever we are right now, roughly 2,000 employees, to 10 or 20,000 employees. I also think it's very rare to see that part of the growth curve at least once in somebody's career. And so as a result of that, I'm still learning new stuff every single day in my role at the company. And frankly, it's stuff that I think I can go start a whole bunch of different startups at different points, but like, I'm not going to get to see this unless things go incredibly well at one of them. And so, it seems like a much more unique opportunity to help a company scale through this part of our trajectory than to go start something new. And so that's why I'm still here. And that's why I think I'll be here for quite a while.